I'm one of those people who's hypersensitive. Can't deal with bright lights. That's why my lighting always sucks. And, I actually have seizures if there's direct lighting, in my right eye. So, I either have to keep the lights kind of dim or, rock an eye patch for a while. Otherwise, my whole eye just goes, like, white, and then, if there's any kind of, like, quick movement of light, flashing, or direct bright lighting on this side, I'll end up, sometimes just going into a seizure, so that's fun. I'm one of those people who anxiety riddles me. I can't deal with lighting, can't deal with noise, can't deal with, tight spaces, crowds. I'm terrified of people in general. Or if I feel like somebody's blocking the door or blocking my exit route, it freaks me out and I'll panic internally. Trauma. But, I grew up in a family that was extremely religious, and they went for the restrain and pray about it approach, so I never was given time to calm down and put things into words. It was just constantly people moving toward me, on me, and you weren't allowed to be upset. If you were upset, or even just overwhelmed, you just never were given time to handle it on your own. It was just constant pressure and questions, and sometimes, especially if you're on the spectrum, you take a while to be able to explain things, and you don't want to be misunderstood in the explanation, so sometimes it just takes a little bit of time to formulate the right words. And I'm one of those people where I get stuck on certain words or phrases. But, they saw basically me blacking out, having seizures. I also have ADHD. And I was always looked at as, like, a troubled kid, or that I wasn't trying, and that I wasn't paying attention. And, we found out later, it was seizures. I was blacking out, having seizures in school, so I wasn't actually just a bad kid. I also have a really non-violent approach to everything, so I just kind of take it as it comes. And that's been both one of my greatest strengths and my downfall, so I can de-escalate a situation for the most part pretty quickly because I don't react. But in some cases it can cause the situation to get worse for me because I don't react. So if somebody's looking to directly provoke a reaction, it's gonna take way longer and a lot more work for them, and sometimes it can get kind of dangerous for my safety. And even just like joking around and stuff, I have a lack of feeling in most of my body, so I've broken bones before and not even noticed they were broken until way after. Like, I broke my foot one year around Christmas at my parents' house, and I didn't notice my foot was broken for like a good week, and I just knew that it was bending weird. Yeah, it turned out I broke my ankle, and then it turned purple and swelled up, and you could see like where the bone was in the wrong place. But with certain things, I'm super hypersensitive. Food is one of those things too, where I hate a majority of foods, or I will get sick on a majority of foods. So I'm extremely hypersensitive about food, lights, people, crowds, noise. But then there's certain things like general safety things that I'm just like, I have no reaction or feeling at all. So it's kind of interesting how the brain works. And then ADHD is a superpower. If I get into hyperfocus, I was able to complete a couple college classes in days that would take most people at least a month. But if it's a topic I'm interested in, I can memorize everything. But then you ask me to do like normal stuff, like when I was working at a store, things like that, like customer service, having to make small talk, I can't do that. I'm like constantly, so I'm trying to get better about tolerating it, but it's like in the back of my mind, like, why are we talking about the weather, you know? Like, I don't know you. And I have to kind of catch myself because I get like a lot of people just crave that validation. I'm not one of those people. So I just don't generally like being approached, especially if I don't know somebody, but even people I know, like if I'm just like, what's the angle? Like, what do you want? Because I feel like most people don't just check up to see how you're doing. They always usually want something, even if it's just validation. And it's just never simple.